that be a problem where you work? Well, in most situations, go silent when they encounter a crucial confrontation. Some go violent. Instead of going silent, ignoring it, avoiding it, withdrawing, they go violent. They attack the person, they're disrespectful, they bully, they threaten, they intimidate. And you know what we found? There's a price you pay when you handle a crucial confrontation by going violent. Here's the metaphor I want you to remember. Probably the single most important principle we ever learned about leadership is called Law of the Hog. Law of the Hog, spelled H-O-G. The principle of the hog was discovered when we were doing research with a large wood products company in the Northwest. And they gave us access to their entire operation. Said we could interview people, we could observe people, we could wander wherever we went. And so we took advantage of this freedom. The day the Law of the Hog was discovered, two of my associates, Kerry Patterson and David Maxfield, they go driving up this lumber road, come to this big lumber mill, parked their car, and went in to meet the supervisors that they'd be interviewing throughout the day. Well, they look around, and this room was full of big, big men. Great big men. Most with scowls on their faces. Some with tattoos on their faces. A scary bunch of big, big men. They looked around and said, if this is a representative sampling of the population in the Northwest, everyone up here is gigantic, they said. Well, he said, hi, we're the researchers. We'll be interviewing you throughout the day. Please be nice to us. Then everyone dispersed. Well, they sat down with the first supervisor. They said, thank you for taking the time to meet with us. He goes, hurry it up, I'm busy. Oh, well, our first question, of all the guys on the learning team, of all the guys on the work team, how are you selected to be supervisor? Rolls his eyes like, where do they get these dumb researchers? I'm the biggest guy on the team. You're the biggest guy on the team? How does that qualify you to be supervisor? I can make people do their job. Whoa, interesting criteria. Biggest guy on the team selected because he can make people do their job. Said, well, would you yell at people? How do you get them to do their job? He said, whatever's necessary. Well, what if someone's not responding to your urging? Whatever's necessary. Well, has a supervisor ever been known to hit an employee here? Yeah. Whoa, what happened to the supervisor? What do you mean? Well, how did they punish the supervisor that hits an employee? Well, they don't punish the supervisor. It's the employee's fault for not complying. Ooh, thank you very much. Researchers got together. Did you hear what happened? They slapped someone, and it's the employee's fault, not the supervisor's fault. Well, this flew in the face of some elaborate theories we've been developing about balance of power in organizations and how you get commitment to performance. We continued our interviews and started interviewing employees. Talked to one employee. Said, how do you like your supervisor? Oh, he's better than the last one. What do you mean? Well, unlike the last one, he doesn't throw chunks of wood at us. We realized the employees didn't have very high expectations about what constitutes good relationships with supervisors. Then the critical question. A researcher asked, well, what do you do when the supervisor crosses the line? When a supervisor goes too far? When a supervisor's disrespectful? Employee smiled. They wouldn't. How can you be so sure? We got the hog. Now I have to explain what the hog is. They go out in the forest, cut down the big trees, take off the branches, section the logs, mount them on big trucks, drive them into the lumber mill. Get to the lumber mill, section the logs again, mount them on big lathes, get these logs turning, whoom, whoom, whoom. Then they put these blades up against the log, take off layers of bark. Finer blades up against the log, take off sheets of veneer they glue together for plywood. A lot of good profit in good plywood. Then finer sheets of veneer till they get these long sheets of veneer sold to fine furniture companies. A lot of profit and good veneer. Then they section the log, they take out the smaller pieces, the 2x4s. Finally, they're left with irregular chunks of wood that can't be used to produce board feet. Well, these run down these big conveyors, and on either side of the conveyor is an employee, the big leather belt with chains to the wall so they can't lean too far. They pick up these pieces of wood and they throw them in the hog. Hog's big whirling machine, open mouth. Throw in a piece of wood, psst, out comes sawdust. Sawdust sold to pulp mills for pennies on the ton. Not much profit in sawdust. Back to the interview. Well, what do you do if the supervisor goes too far? If the supervisor's disrespectful? Oh, they wouldn't be. How do you know? We got the hog. You throw supervisors in the hog? No, where did they get these dumb researchers? We throw good wood in the hog. What? Yeah, supervisor treats us unfair. We throw good wood in the hog. Why? Duh, let me explain it, okay? The end of each shift, they measure board feet produced. They weigh sawdust. If board feet goes down, sawdust goes up, supervisor's in trouble. If he can't correct it within 5 working days, supervisor's fired. Bye-bye, fathead. All of a sudden, ding, the law of the hog was born. And literally, researchers saw between shifts, employees going down, rolling up veneer just like carpet, carrying it down to the hog and using it just like a pencil sharpener. Zzz, 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 all that good wood into sawdust. Well, we found the lumber companies are not the only ones that have the law of the hog. We found in high-tech companies computer chips in the toilet. Someone walks by, scoops up a handful of $350 chips, down the toilet. We also found the most common form the law of the hog takes is not blatant sabotage. It's excessive absenteeism and tardiness. It's decrease of discretionary effort. It's people not putting in a full day's work. It's doing the bare minimum required to keep from being fired and no more. It damages results and damages relationships. Undermines the things that we care most about as leaders and as members of the family. Here's my advice. When a significant gap occurs between what you expected and what you're getting, you've got to have a crucial confrontation. If a significant gap exists above the line, people are outperforming expectations, never let that gap pass without acknowledging it and thanking the person. If someone significantly outperforms expectations, never let that gap pass without acknowledging it and thanking the person. Bill, I heard on Friday you got your work done and you chipped in and helped Fred and Sally, and the whole team finished up without any overtime. Fantastic. That helps the team, helps me, helps the company. Well done. Never let that gap pass. Similarly, never let a significant gap below the line occur. When you expect one thing, you're getting something that disappoints you. Never let that gap pass without confronting it. A crucial confrontation. Don't go silent. Don't confront it with violence. Be respectful. Be thoughtful. Be conscious. Work on solving problems and improving relationships. Do that, you'll get significant breakthroughs in performance at a team level, at a relationship level, at a leadership level.